Chapter 714, The Fractured Tamara Family. Jebus eagerly observed Franca and Jenna after mentioning 005, hoping to witness expressions of shock and terror on their faces. Considering the immense power demonstrated by this Beyonder team, they surely grasped the gravity of a Grade 0 sealed artifact. It was a horrifying object capable of obliterating not just Trier, but potentially the whole world. The higher the serial number of a Grade 0 sealed artifact, the more dangerous it would be. And now they were talking about 005. While Franca and Jenna were intrigued and surprised, their reaction didn't match Jebus's expectations. Instead of responding to Jebus, they turned their attention to Lumion. Despite not having seen or dared to read the details, they had learned from Lumion that Ludwig, the monstrous child, had stolen sealed artifact information from the Church of Knowledge and given it to Lumion as payment for a deal. The information pertained to 001. 005, Lumion raised an eyebrow. To his knowledge, sealed artifacts probably didn't have serial numbers in ancient times. Even if they did, they were individual actions of different churches. It wasn't until the end of the Fourth Epoch, or the beginning of the Fifth Epoch, that the 7 ruling churches established the current sealed artifact classification rules and numbered the ones under their control. Among them, due to the immense danger posed by Grade 0 and Grade 1 sealed artifacts, the Orthodox churches had agreed to share general information with each other and unify their serial numbers without duplicates. In other words, it was impossible for both the Eternal Blazing Sun Church and the Evernight Goddess Church to possess a 005 sealed artifact. In the entire world, only the magic wishing lamp could be called 005. When the 7 churches first numbered their Grade 0 sealed artifacts, they undoubtedly ranked them according to the level of danger, time of appearance, and intrinsic uniqueness. Subsequent acquisitions would be named in the order they were sealed. This way, there was a high likelihood that the dozens of Grade sealed artifacts at the top of the list would adhere to posing greater danger and having greater uniqueness the lower the serial number. For 005 to be ranked 5th among the countless Grade sealed artifacts spoke volumes about its terrifying power and significance. Of course, based on these rules, the Grade sealed artifacts with the lowest serial numbers might not necessarily be weaker than those with higher serial numbers. Lumion looked at Jebus and said in a relatively calm tone, 005, a terrifying item ranked 5th among all Grade sealed artifacts. Indeed, Jebus replied, his desire to show off finally satisfied. Lumion inquired curiously, does its name, Magic Wishing Lamp, imply that you can make wishes with it? At that moment, Lumion's heart swelled with anticipation that surpassed his outward expression. Jebus nodded solemnly. Yes, it can grant the holder any 10 wishes. Before Lumion could probe further, Jebus added, however, as far as I know, the fulfillment of those wishes often takes a distorted form or comes with horrifying consequences. Moreover, none of those who once possessed the divine lamp met a good end. Perhaps Rosel Gustav met his demise because of this. Lumion fell silent upon hearing this revelation. Franca glanced at Lumion and asked, did 005 once belong to Emperor Rosel? Jebus responded without hesitation, yes. Franca inquired with interest, what about now? Do you have any leads on 005's whereabouts? Jebus was eager to share what he knew. Yes, it should be with the leader of the secret organization, Element Dawn. That leader is believed to be Rosel's eldest daughter, Bernadette. Wow, Franca exclaimed in admiration and relief, as if the child of an old friend was thriving after the latter's passing. Although she and Lumion had learned after the sea prayer ritual that Emperor Rosel's eldest daughter, Bernadette, was alive and had invented fairytale magic, closely linked to the Tarot Club's major arcana card, the Hermit, they were unaware of her precise circumstances. Now, she was pleasantly surprised to discover that Bernadette had become the leader of a secret organization. Franca had long been familiar with Element Dawn. She knew they focused on studying mysticism and Beyonder alchemy, opposing another knowledge-seeking secret organization, the Moses Ascetic Order. They were primarily active in the Intis region, the South Central Zone, and the sea. It's only natural for the emperor's belongings to be with his eldest daughter, Lumion remarked, feeling somewhat pleased for Emperor Roselle. Franca asked Jebus excitedly, "Are you planning to confront Bernadette?" Jebus slowly shook his head. "We don't have the necessary strength yet. That's one of the reasons we collaborate with the Mirror people. Only by embracing and pleasing the truth can the overseers obtain more boons to resist Bernadette and her subordinates. Controlling the government and embracing the truth to varying degrees is a boon-seeking ritual. Yes, Jebus himself mentioned that this is a ritual to please the truth, their boon. Receiving ritual differs from that of other evil god cults. Rather than primarily focusing on blood sacrifices, it emphasizes the influence, utilization, and transformation of Order Lumion, summarized a key characteristic of the School of Truth based on Jebus's words. After a moment of contemplation, he asked, "Overseer is both a position and a name. What's the sequence equivalent in the potion pathway?" "Sequence 4, having just attained godhood," Jebus replied concisely. It was unclear whether he was reluctant to disclose such matters or if he simply didn't know much. Lumion continued, "We've already grasped your school's philosophy and objectives. What's the purpose of the Mirror people?" Jebus pondered for a moment before responding. They also want to break the seal of the ancient underground city. Only by breaking the seal can they enter the depths of the special mirror world where they originally resided and find something of great importance, but it has nothing to do with us. They've been allowing more mirror people to sneak out and replace the originals. I'm not sure if they have any other motives. Apart from Morin Avigny, which other mirror people do you know? Franca didn't conceal her desire to know the answer. Jebus shook his head. Ever since we reached a collaborative agreement with Morin Avigny, he's had the other mirror people change their positions and identities. He's the only one who can contact them. How did you discover that Morin Avigny is a mirror person? Lumion sought additional clues. Jebus chuckled. Our School of Truth was founded with some members of the Tamara family as its core. Several of them had long suspected that something was off with Morin Avigny and other clansmen. After receiving the truth's revelation, they confirmed this suspicion. Which pathway does Morin Avigny's original body belong to? Lumion frowned. Jebus didn't conceal anything for Morin Avigny's sake. The judgment pathway. Not only does he possess the power of the judgment pathway, but he can also wield mirror-related powers. Are there any members of the Tamara family's judgment lineage who don't follow the truth and aren't replaced by mirror people? Lumion inquired further. Yes, they've cut ties with our School of Truth and have been trying to deal with us, Jebus replied truthfully. The Tamara family first split into two branches, Judgment and Apprentice. Then, the Judgment branch splintered into three parts: those who believe in the truth, those replaced by the mirror people, and those who adhered to their original traditions. However, the ones with the connection between the Apprentice branch of the Tamara family and the Demoness sect are more likely to be replaced by the mirror people. Has that branch also fractured? Why is the Tamara family constantly splintering? Even if the Tamara family doesn't fracture, there's still the risk of being replaced by the mirror people. Could this stem from some unresolved mysteries of the fourth epoch? Lumion analyzed and speculated based on the available information. What's Morin Avigny's approximate sequence? Jenna asked, noticing Lumion's silence. Sequence 5, Jebus answered Jenna's question with a smile. Sequence 5, Disciplinary Paladin, Franca, under the guidance of Madame Judgment, a major arcana card holder, was well versed in the Arbiter pathway. Sequence 9 was Arbiter, Sequence 8 was Sheriff, Sequence 7 was Interrogator, and Sequence 6 was Judge. Disciplinary Paladin with Mirror Magic and Mirror World. Related abilities, Lumion looked at Jebus and asked with a smile. You're not a mirror person or a demoness. Why can you freely enter and exit the mirror world without being affected by the dangers there? Jebus pointed at the glass cufflink on his sleeve. This is an item given to us by Morin Avigny. It allows us to enter and exit the mirror world and use the connections between mirrors to traverse without being absorbed into other mirrors. I can still use it 5 times. Very good. It will be ours in the future. Yes, let's call them mirror cufflink. At that moment, Franca had already thought of a name for the cufflink. Lumion nodded and replied, "If your abilities correspond to a potion pathway, what would Sequence 9 be called?" Given the looming potential conflict with the School of Truth, Lumion didn't let the opportunity to understand the other party's beyonder powers slip away. A proud smile graced Jebus's face. "It's Broker. We are the gray between white and black, the fog between light and darkness. We are the bridge between order and shadows." "Could you say something more comprehensible?" Franca muttered under her breath. Lumion smiled and asked without hesitation, "What abilities does Broker possess?"